Hi, I'm back with another vlog, and today we're going to be taking a look at NelsonSullivan.com. So the main page for NelsonSullivan.com intros him thusly. Nelson Sullivan created these videos in New York City between 1983 and 1989. What's on this page is a list of Nelson Sullivan's videos on YouTube arranged by category. To find the video you're looking for, please use your browser's search function. A list of subjects begins this list, followed by the titles of Nelson's videos available on YouTube. For questions about Nelson Sullivan Video Collection, email questions@NelsonSullivan.com. This page is in the process of being constructed by someone who doesn't exactly know what he's doing, so please don't expect too much. And then if you scroll down, you can see Nelson Sullivan's videos listed by the person that it is starring. So for example, you can click on Bunny, Lady Kerr, RuPaul, Christina, and it will give you a list of the videos in which these people appear, followed by a list of all individual videos that have been uploaded to 5 9th Avenue Project. At the top, if you click More About Nelson tab, it brings you to a page that says Nelson Sullivan, Funtone USA, and the American Music Show. And it contains an interview by Carolyn Rivera, who interviews Dick Richards. I won't go through the entire article because it is quite long, but I will share a couple things with you here today, and I will put the link to NelsonSullivan.com below. So the interviewer starts off by asking, who are you? What's your relation to the filmmaker? Dick Richards says, Nelson and I were what is called today BFFs. We grew up together in a small town in South Carolina, went to the same college, saw each other occasionally in the 70s, and resumed our close friendship in the 80s. Since 1970, I had been living in Atlanta and he in New York. When did Nelson first show an interest in filmmaking? Were you involved in his productions? Richards says, Nelson was an artist with a variety of talents. He was a painter, studied classical piano in college, and later developed an interest in film after he had moved to New York in 1970. This was at the height of the Vietnam War, and Nelson had the luxury of postgraduate studies as he had a deferment from the military draft because of an accident he had falling into a pit in an abandoned gold mine in our hometown. That left him with a metal screw in his ankle and got him classified 4F. I'm not sure exactly when, but sometime in the 70s, Nelson attended film school, and around the same time he had his own beauty parlor with a summer location on Fire Island. He said he was an alcoholic then too, he told me. By the time we reconnected in the 80s, Nelson had stopped drinking entirely and was a part-time music consultant at Paddleson's Classic Music Store behind Carnegie Hall. Working part-time gave Nelson the flexibility to go out late at night, which gave him the impetus to acquire a video set to record it all. He knew he lived an interesting life, and through video, he could easily share it with others. Why do you think he went for a shot on video? Was it the accessibility and ease, or were there some aesthetic preferences? Richard says, in the early 1980s, affordable video cameras and recorders became available to the general public for the first time. I had bought a Panasonic VHS camera and recorder to make the American Music Show, and Nelson became inspired to get the same. Basically, he realized if I could do it, he could too. Basically, there was a camera about the size of a shoebox that rested on the shoulder, and a portable recorder on a strap that hung from the shoulder powered a heavy battery that would last 45 minutes with a good charge. After a few years, Nelson switched to a smaller 8mm camcorder because it was easier to use. However, after 20 years in storage, I encountered more problems with his 8mm tapes than his VHS ones. Nelson had made many fabulous friends during the 1970s, many of them with aspirations in show business. Hardly anybody had their own video camera then, so they would invite Nelson to video their shows. He would make copies for the artists and send me copies of his favorite performances for broadcast on the American Music. I think he liked to tell people his tapes were being shown on TV in Atlanta, and that helped us both out. Nelson had only one camera to work with. At first, he shot everything from the perspective a person would have if he or she had been at the event. Towards the end of his video career, Nelson developed a style where he would come in and out of the picture himself to talk to the viewer about what was happening around them. The perspective then became what a person would see going along with Nelson somewhere. When did you gain access to Nelson's collection? What's the weirdest thing he's produced? What's your favorite? Richardson says, once I had recovered from the shock of Nelson's sudden departure, I made plans to go to New York and bring Nelson's tape back to Atlanta. We had a video partnership and all of our videos belong to one another. Larry T. and John Witherspoon, aka Lahoma Van Sant, were Nelson's roommates at 5 9th Avenue. They recognized the importance of Nelson's tape and looked after the tapes until I arrived. It took a while to box them up, but with the help of UPS, all 600 of them arrived safely in Atlanta. Today, Nelson's tapes have returned to New York and are being preserved in the Fales Archives at New York City, located in the heart of downtown Manhattan, where many of Nelson's videos were made. They are available for anyone to see and use, and I am sure the people of the future will be amazed seeing the colorful period in New York's history Nelson caught for us all on tape. The weirdest of Nelson's videos is, without a doubt, the movie Mama Said. Nelson described it to me as the most horrifying movie ever made. Nelson was its videographer, and he shot it all on VHS tape. It is the story of a mother who raises 3 sons to be women. It's a musical that begins with her sons, now grown women, operating a beauty parlor in Times Square. Gradually, their story unfolds to a tragic end. Watching it always leaves me petrified. I have so many favorites in Nelson's archives. I love anything with John Sex, AIDS Took Him From Us Too Soon, Suzanne Barge's Parties with Kenny at the Door, the Pop-Tart shows, Lahoma's singing Big Daddy, and especially RuPaul's life at the Jane West Hotel, which proved that squalid can be beautiful in its own way. Has his work ever been exhibited or distributed before? Richardson says, a year after Nelson's death, Fenton Bailey, along with Lori Welts, produced a TV documentary entirely from Nelson's videos, Nelson Sullivan's World of Wonder, for Channel 4 in London. That program is a bonus on the DVD, The Party Monster Shockumentary. The Climate Group included Nelson in a documentary about guerrilla video for European TV. Nelson's videos have been shown at film festivals around the world. I am most pleased, however, that now Nelson's videos are available 24/7 on the YouTube for anyone, anywhere, to look at anytime and enjoy. When and why did you decide to share Tam's and some of his other work on YouTube? Richards responded, Robert Coddington became to be the artist in residence with us in Atlanta in 2006. Today, he is the official archivist for the Nelson Sullivan collection. Originally, we met in Chicago on a free excursion arranged for the stars of the American Music Show. We did 2 shows at a Chicago gay bar called Foxy's, where the patrons preferred the entertainment to be bizarre. Robert was introduced to me there, and we became colleagues. Robert helped me organize the Nelson tape collection and edited several Nelson videos exhibited on the gay film festival circuit. Robert also set up the first Nelson channel on YouTube, which was popular but was taken down by YouTube for some reason I've never found out. Later, my courage renewed, I started another Nelson channel and a Fun Tone channel too. I got several scolding messages and penalties from YouTube at first, which made me be careful. We made the American Music Show for anybody to see, and Nelson made his videos for the same reason. YouTube has made that easy and possible for now, and I appreciate that a lot. I just wonder how long it will last. So also on this page, they include several links to several popular Nelson Sullivan videos that are uploaded to the 5 9th Avenue project. The interview goes on a little bit further. They talk a lot more in depth about the American Music Show and also about Deandra Peak, the famous character from the American Music Show. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I will put the link to NelsonSullivan.com below if you want to check it out. I want to thank you guys for watching and for all the comments and likes, and you can feel free to check out some of my other Nelson Sullivan videos, and if you haven't yet subscribed, you can do so by clicking the kitty, and I will see you guys again for my next upload.